The Foundation calls that thing 173. The UIU's had a few run-ins with it, but it's not supposed to be here. Area 12 is supposed to be a biological research facility. You're lucky to be alive.
After you're done hearing the dialogue of Crow talking to you, telling you congratulations on surviving the Stone Baby attack that's going to be happening when you first start off in the interrogation rooms, you're going into this other area where it's kind of an arena. You pick up an MP9 from SCP guard, and now you have to deal with these obnoxious-ass chickens that have no feathers, they have a human head, and they charge at you and do probably about half your health. What's up, people? One Nut Punch here. Going to be doing a part 2 for the update of .15. Talking about Chapter 1 and my experiences playing it. Here's the thing. I knew about the eggs, and I knew about the chicken things, but I didn't understand what they exactly do to you. And when I would go and fight these guys, it took about half a magazine of an MP5 and maybe a full magazine of a pistol before you drop them to the ground. And this is on top of the resonators and the SCP guards trying to shoot at me through the wall. Not to mention that they have the burning zombies in another area later on to where you have to turn 4 valves off while they have everything on fire, and you're being chased by these zombies, not only smacking you, but doing burn damage over time. The Chapter 1 update for .15 was much bigger than I thought compared to Chapter 2 and Chapter 3. Chapter 2 and Chapter 3 actually didn't really have that much of a change. Chapter 1 was where most of it really happened, and after putting about an hour to 2 hours into it, not to mention I love the idea of the checkpoint system because I can go back and do like library or garage and start there rather than going back to the beginning of the actual map and then continue on from there. Because of this recording being on Halloween Day, I wanted to show this off, and this is kind of freaky if you think about it. When you get to the elevator and press the button, these, I guess chicklets or humanoid chicken things start squealing and squawking. And I realize why, and when I look up at the elevator to see it slowly coming down, I mean, it is kind of morbid and a little bit nutty having it slowly go down, and they don't even, like, know what the hell is going to happen until it's too late, and then there's just, like, a small splatter, I guess. It's not a whole lot. You kind of see a little bit of red, and then that's about it. But it's still kind of weird, and because they're monsters, I think it's okay. It's hard to really say when it came down to how this like chicken thing kind of worked. But it is an anomaly, and because it's Halloween night, not to mention the devs put it in the game, might as well show it off anyway. But that was just my weird experience when I seen those egg creatures or the babies of 3199. And you go up to the elevator a little bit, and it'll take you to the scaffolding that you have to walk across in order to get further into the level and get more weapons and gear and bandages so you can heal yourself if you took a bunch of damage. As you keep going past the scaffolding and you get to the other areas where it looks like the old garages that you first start off before the changes to Area 12, they actually show the scaffolding that has like sprinklers going off, and it shows water hitting the ground, which I thought was pretty nice looking. Not to mention when you're walking into it and you're sitting inside the sprinkler getting shot at, you have to see through it to find out who's shooting at you and where they're at. Same thing if the light's on the ground and it's underneath it. It shows that kind of like dark green hue around the cloud when it's going down from the sprinkler to the first floor, and I thought that was a pretty nice touch as well. When you get done shooting the SCP guards inside the scaffolding area / cargo room, you're going to the tunnels, and the tunnels is going to have all of the zombies that come after you, including the chickens that like to run at you at full speed and crash in your body and destroy you instantly, sometimes doing half your health. But as long as you have the MP9 or a Draco, you should be pretty fine. For example, the MP9 shoots really fast and it just shreds a bunch of zombies. And when you're fighting the chicken things, it does about half the magazine to drop it anyway. Unless it's headshots, I think it's even lower than that. But it's tough to try to aim at them, especially when they're running at you. And sometimes doing the full sprint charge into your body, doing all your health, or half of it, depending upon how bad they hit you. And again, they are tough to deal with sometimes if they're in packs. The reason why I say that is because I've seen about 5 or 6 of them come at me at once, not to mention like 2 or 3 of them every single time I've gone to a run in with them, like the arena with the cargo containers, or even the tunnel areas sometimes when they pop up. There's not really one. There's always like 2, 3, or maybe even more of that, and that's when they start to become kind of a nuisance to deal with. But like I said, the MP9 being a high fire rate SMG, it pretty much deals with them pretty instantly. It takes like half the magazine to deal with them, unless it's headshots, even less so. And then the zombies that come after you, just the normal zombies, they just smack you a bunch. But the burning zombies, they will smack you and they will light themselves on fire by doing fire damage around you. So from my experience, when it comes down to the specific areas, that you have to do 4 valves and open them up. The only way to do this, however, is going up to the machine on the wall there, pressing the button and waiting. After it waits for a little bit of a time, then it starts to beep again, a different beeping sound, and that's when you have to unlock the valves 1, 2, 3, and 4. Once all 4 are unlocked, the way will be open to go to the reception hall, and then you can continue on after that. Here's my problem when it came down to the waves. It took a couple of lives to do, but eventually I was able to get there. The burning zombies will smack the shit out of you on top of doing fire damage, on top of the resonators coming in at 2 or 3 packs, and being able to smack the shit out of you as well, doing half your health. The other thing I found annoying when it came down to the machine itself is that when I would walk up to it, you have to go really, really close to the red button before it activates with the interact button. When I did this a couple of times, it would not pop up. Or it wouldn't even show me what to do, and I was kind of wandering around, wondering what the hell to do, where to go, and how everything kind of worked out. Eventually, I was able to do all 4 of the valves and go into the Area 12 reception desk, and that's essentially where Chapter 1 would continue on from there until it would go into Chapter 2. I didn't really do anything after that because I didn't have much lives left, and the SCP guards were shooting through the wall constantly, destroying me. But after I'm done doing this video, I'll probably definitely go back and give it another round 2 or 3 with Chapter 1 all the way through into Chapter 2 and Chapter 3. I did beat those 2 again because the screen anomaly wasn't that big of a deal, and having to do with Chapter 3 stuff in terms of the shooting rod plants and some of the D-class personnel they have to deal with in the water treatment plant, it wasn't too hard to deal with.
This is Warner Brown, sub-level 125, 8:32 p.m. I am relocating to 108 to assist of determining why we have lost control of the Vector 026s and the Perimeter Vector 349s. D-class personnel are now relatively contained in sub-level 205 and below.
I'm not sure if this was the update that the audio files came out to being for SCP-5K, but now you could listen to some audio files of different people talking. And they do have issues with it. For example, when it comes down the tablet, it's not always going to show the different journal entries or audio files. You have to go press escape and then be able to look at it later. But anyway, I've been One Nut Punch, and this has been the .15 Part 2 video for SCP-5K. Like I said, thanks for watching, everybody, for checking out the channel. I will be showing more stuff off if they do any more hot fixes or anything new with SCP-5K, and I can't wait to see what more they do into 1.0. But this is basically where it ends here. Tells you that there's nothing more after this besides what they added, and then they give you a QR code that you can do stuff with. But like I said, I've been One Nut Punch. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later in the next one.